So if you had a 10-year-old uh, fan that has a worn motor, keep in mind that motor failure can happen, even if you don't intend to do anything wrong with it. Now, that yellow fan that was sitting in the barn for years had only minimal use, but that minimal use added up to this year, leading to the failure. Now, the motor was already loud to begin with because it had constant use from year after year, and it's not me to blame. It's the wear and tear on motors that wear them out. In worst scenario, it can even burn them out. And now with burnt motors, they often puts out a burnt smell coming from your motor. At that point, you can just replace the fan, which I did. I had a spare fan on hand that blows just about the same amount of air as the other one did, if not better. My mom wasn't so happy when the fan motor burned out, and I said the fan was like 10 years old. So I have to say that it did have minimal use, but that minimal use added up, as I said. So you really cannot prevent a fan failure. The fan failure just happens over time because the motor windings get heated up and they cool down. And when the fan motor windings start heating up and cooling down, that causes them to wear out and lead to failure in my case. So I'm not the one to blame here. I am considered good about keeping things lasting. Now, the other fan that I had permanently sealed bearings, so it's a much newer fan and much quieter than the other one. Well, the other one was actually much louder. So the main thing is that you have to understand that fans don't last forever. Nothing does, including central air conditioner condensing unit compressors. Because think of it, this 12-year-old condensing unit has a loud compressor and it's still running. Compressors just don't burn out suddenly. They can still run for years before an eventual failure. If the compressor goes out in this unit, I will end up getting a new system because, a compressor is very expensive and stuff. So, anyways, that's just the way that fan motors behave when they're older, and you really can't prevent a sudden failure. So, it's unpreventable. So, have a Merry Christmas and stay tuned.